Hello, 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 sellers. It's Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, come on in. We are going to tackle a very, very, very important topic for eBay sellers, and that is, should I quit selling on eBay in 2024? And we're going to have an honest discussion on this. I'm going to share different thoughts because we're all in different places in our eBay selling, but it's one that I see posted. I see it posted in seller groups on Facebook, and I see it on YouTube. And that's why I want to bring it up, okay? Because you know me, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And I'm also very interested in what you're thinking. So come on in. First of all, if you're watching live on my Facebook business page, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Those of you that watch on my YouTube, thank you. Thank you. Kathy Terrell, I love to be selling. Do hit subscribe. I certainly appreciate it. And those that download my podcast, Kathy Terrell, I love to be selling. Thank you. I certainly appreciate all the downloads. So this is one, first of all, if you watch YouTubes and also on podcasts, you will see this. You know, I'm quitting eBay. eBay, it's over. Leaving eBay, selling everything and leaving eBay. It goes on and on and on. And what you'll notice if you look at them is they have a lot of views. Why? Okay, why? And these are people that have a lot of followers on YouTube because it gets views. So just be aware that sometimes when people put up YouTubes, same thing for podcasts and lives, but particularly on YouTube, that the creators will be putting up things that are extremely provocative because it gets more views. Their channel is monetized. So if they put up something like, I'm quitting eBay, that's it, eBay, it's all over eBay, it gets more views than if it's like, you know what, I'm doing great on eBay. Unless you're doing really great on eBay, like I did 100,000 in a week, come and listen to my tips, that kind of thing. So just be aware that sometimes people are posting things and it's to get more views and more reactions and to get people coming over. Very similar to when you're driving and you see an ambulance or you see cop cars or whatever. They call it like the rubbernecking delays. So just be aware that people do that. I certainly understand it. You know, they're a marketer. I get it. They're looking for views and clicks, but be aware of it. Okay. Now, people do leave eBay. Okay. And they leave eBay for different reasons. And we're going to address a couple of them. One, it can be change of life circumstances. You've been selling on eBay successfully as a part-time or a full-time seller for years, and your life circumstances have changed. It could be that you were selling on eBay part-time, full-time, and you've taken a full-time job because what you're looking for is a job with benefits or insurance. Or you just want to take a break from listing and shipping and you're taking a regular job. I totally understand. And you know what? Good for you. And you know what? I hope you'll be shopping on eBay, maybe listing a few things on eBay as you declutter personal possessions. But I totally get it. And when I see people jump on people, and trust me, it doesn't happen in my Facebook group, because they have chosen for personal reasons to take a part-time job or a full-time job. So they're no longer going to be selling so much on eBay. Sometimes people will jump on them, you're not working hard enough. You're not selling hard enough or whatever. And you know what? Everybody's circumstances are different. And I am not here to judge. I'm here to encourage you to make the decisions that work best for you and your family. Okay. So if that comes up for you, good. And eBay will be here 4 years, 5 years, if you decide to come back. Okay. But do keep shopping on eBay. So people that decide to stop selling because of change in personal circumstances or needs, desires. Okay. Totally get that. Huge one that I see, I was just looking at different people's posts, looking at some posts in Facebook groups, is the high fees. So let's talk about it. They are high. I mean, people that dance around this, bottom line is they're high. And they have gone up over the years if you've been selling for a while. And if you don't know, I'm on eBay for over 15 years. So yes, I've seen things go up. But shall we say, and I live in New York City, can you tell from the yellow cabs? Everything has gone up. okay, and without being political, because we're not going to be political on this, is things go up, okay? I can't think of, and platforms will play with fees. So for instance, like with Depop, Mercari, if you don't know, they play around with fees, but somebody's paying the fee. So if the sellers aren't paying the fee, then the buyers are paying the fee. If the buyers are paying the fee, so they'll be checking out and they'll be seeing that they're going to be paying certain fees, there's a very good chance they're going to expect a lower price from you. So it's one of those things of fees are going to get paid, who's going to pay them, and just be aware of, if the buyer is paying fees, they're going to look for you to lower your price in most circumstances. So eBay roughly, and it depends if you have a store or not, it depends what categories you're selling in, but roughly the fees are about 15%. And when I say fees, I mean the final value fee. So we're not talking listing fees, because when you are what's called a consumer seller, which means you don't have a store, you do get 250 free listings every month. Store subscribers, depending on the level of store, you have listings included in your subscription, and then you pay after that. But the biggest chunk of money from eBay is final value fees, what you pay when the item sells, okay? Now, in addition, if you're not aware of this, you want to look at promoted listing fees, because sometimes sellers will get stuck on this and they don't factor it in, okay? Just like, in case you didn't know this, if you have your own website, which some sellers do think about, they're like, you know what, forget it, eBay, I'm going to get my own website. Good, but realize there are costs involved in maintaining your own website that you do not have when you're a seller on eBay. For instance, if you have your own website, I'd be surprised if you're not paying for Google AdWords, which means you're literally paying Google to send traffic your way. eBay does this, okay? Amazon does this. Walmart does this. Macy's do it. And if you're not aware of it, go search on Google or the other browsers and take a look at it. It'll say sponsored, just like with eBay promoted listings. It'll say sponsored on the item that you see in Google search, and that means they are paying for that space, okay? So fees on eBay, final value fee, which you do see when the item sells. So that's good because you're actually seeing how much you're paying eBay, and your promoted listing fee. There's promoted listing. Standard has been rebranded to General. So now it's promoted listing General, which is what most sellers choose because it's not pay-per-click. And then you have promoted listings. Oh gosh, what are they calling it now? Promoted listings. Oh, I have to go look at it. It used to be called Advanced. I'm forgetting what they call it. Somebody, you can tell me. I have to go and look at my promoted listings. But there is a pay-per-click promoted listings. And forgive me for not memorizing it. They just switched it a couple of weeks ago. Factor it in. Most of the sellers that I work with, most of the sellers I know are doing the promoted listings General, which is you're putting your listings in a campaign. eBay makes a suggestion on the percentage. You're choosing what you think is best for you. The good news is that it is not pay-per-click, which means if somebody clicks your listing when you have put it into a promoted listings campaign, you do not pay when you're in General unless they click and buy the item. Then you pay the promoted listing fee. Some sellers choose not to do it. That's totally your call. They prefer just to be listing on eBay. They do not want to pay eBay any more fees. That's totally your call. Some sellers, and I've heard other people recommend not doing it if you sell very unique collectible items. I've sold unique collectible items, and I've worked with sellers with unique collectible items, and I still recommend promoted listings with it. But again, you do want to test it for you. And it's because of the keywords. Because of the keywords in your title, it could be style, color, it could be the pattern. And if you put that item into a promoted listing campaign, all the keywords, okay, so all the listing item specifics, or what they call attributes, and your title are going to be fed into the promoted listings algorithms. So for instance, I actually sold some collectible New York City mugs this way. And I knew all the landmarks. So I had put the landmarks in the title and I had put the landmarks in the description. So things like Chrysler Building, Empire State Building. The interesting thing is the mugs, they sold on promoted listings. And my suspicion, sadly, we don't know, but my suspicion is I bet anything that having all those great keywords, Chrysler Building, Statue of Liberty, Staten Island Ferry, helped me to get sales because people will search New York City Chrysler Building, New York City Chrysler Building gift, New York City swag, New York City souvenir, New York City Chrysler Building souvenir, that kind of thing. So just realize even when it's very unique collectible, the keywords that you're choosing can help. So do consider promoted listings on that. Okay. So yeah, it's 15%. And then depending on your promoted listings, let's say you're going on the lower side, you're going around 2 or 3%. It could be up to 18, 19% and higher depending on what you're selling. It is what it is. It's like going into, I'm going to pick the big department stores here in New York, like going into Macy's or Bloomingdale's. Yes, they run sales. Promoted listings doesn't do sales. eBay final value fee don't do sales. But when you go and you look at the camo shirt, that's the price, okay? When I go on the New York City subway, that's the price, okay? It's not negotiable. And this is what has changed over the years. When the fees were lower, I could sell items that sold for less money. Also, with the increase in USPS, sort of a bonus tip, is it's more expensive to sell. It's more expensive to sell on eBay. It's more expensive to sell everywhere. Final value fees for eBay promoted listings fees for most sellers. And shipping has gone up. Now, the nice thing with shipping is with Ground Advantage, if you were shipping a lot of priority, and I was reading some stuff on the postal system, you actually might be saving some money because Ground Advantage, in most cases, I think I saw one when I was printing labels recently where priority was cheaper, but typically Ground Advantage is cheaper than priority. And if you were doing free priority, and now you can do free shipping, Ground Advantage, you could be saving some nice money. But basically the fees have gone up. So then again, your reaction might be, that's it, I'm leaving eBay. And you go look at other platforms with lower fees and you look at perhaps doing your own store. Realize with other platforms, I'm thinking like Mercari, Poshmark, rather than Amazon, which is also expensive to sell on, is they're smaller. It's less shoppers. There's less variety to sell. I mean, there's pretty much you can sell just about anything on eBay. That's not true on the other platforms. So just realize if you're a soup to nuts seller, there's a lot more variety on eBay. Okay. And that's not true on the other platforms. So factor that in when you're making decisions. I'm not saying don't sell on other platforms. I think it's wise to be multi-channel. But with the fees being what they are, it's sort of like planning a vacation. With the cost, hotel, airplane, whatever, then you choose perhaps what activities you're going to do. Okay. Or maybe you choose a different airline. But with eBay, if this is the final value fee, and if I plan to do promoted listings at this rate, then, and this is what I see a lot of sellers that are staying and thriving, okay, is think about what you're selling. I've made this choice, and I've worked with sellers that have made this choice. There are just certain things I don't sell anymore because the margin, and your margin is how much you make after paying eBay, after your cost of goods, it's just too tight. It's just not worth it. With my time for listing and photographing and your time for listing and photographing, it's not worth it. And it can be hard. It's like, I really like selling this item. But you know what? I really got to look at my time is worthwhile. And if it's taking me 20 minutes to get this listing up or 15 minutes to get this listing up or half an hour to get this listing up, and I'm only going to make like $3, $4 after the fees, I got to look at, is this a wise choice? Is this a wise choice to be making? Unless, and this is the only caveat on things where you don't make a lot of money, it's multi-quantity. So yes, it's work to get the listing up and take the pictures, but I've got 30, 40, 50, 100 of them. Then yes, take a look at it. So, I'm thinking of leaving eBay. The fees are so high. Yes, rethink your inventory. Go for things with better margins unless they're more multi-quantity. Absolutely check out other platforms, but realize there's a lot more shoppers on eBay. A lot. And you can search it on the internet. And don't forget with eBay, you can ship international. eBay International Shipping EIS is a total win. So, I'm going to leave eBay. Next thought is There's too much competition. Again, when eBay started 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? Or when you started selling on eBay 3 years ago, 4 years ago, even 6 months ago, there was less competition in whatever category you're selling on. Okay. Puzzles, games, plush, cell phone accessories, home decor, lamps, shoes, purses, bags. My friend Joe, hubcaps. The truth is, there is. Just like if you started selling on Poshmark 3 years ago or any of the platforms. Remember, Amazon used to sell books? I mean, come on, things change. Is yes, there's more competition. If anybody who says there isn't, I go, well, there is. There's more sellers coming onto eBay than ever before, and the other platforms. Okay. That's when you go back to being the super smart seller that you are. Am I selling the right inventory? Do I need to stop selling this because I'm just not making enough money on it? And take a look at some other areas of inventory. Kitchen appliances. I may not want to ship this because of the weight, but can I part it out because the parts sell well? Okay. Perhaps I can't sell this kind of toy anymore. There's just too much competition. I can still stay in toys. Is there another kind of toy that I can sell? When I'm at yard sales, do I always go for certain things? And we all have things that we really like. Ephemera. And then, okay, let me go and look at crafting supplies, sewing patterns. I'm always selling women's clothes. Let's go look at women's jewelry or men's clothing. Okay. I've never done video games. Let me go take a look at the video games. Media still sells. I mean, at times people go, oh, media. It still sells. There's DVDs that sell. Go and poke around and take a look at those DVDs. Is there something in there? Same thing with CDs. Don't overlook. What I always do as a rule of thumb is whatever I'm used to selling, like let's say women's clothing, is when I go to the estate sale, the yard sale, the retail store. I shop retail. I go right for the clearance racks. Make yourself go and look at another category. If you always go with a certain category, make yourself go and look at another category, even if you just look at it, because you're educating yourself. So if you're thinking, that's it, I'm quitting eBay, right? If it's because of a change in life, good for you. You know what I mean? We're here. Please come shop with us. If it's over the cost of selling on eBay, factor in what you're getting when you sell on eBay, what eBay is providing for you, the platform, millions of buyers. Okay, that is priceless. Anybody who has their own website or a retail store, I mean, look at the various stores that are in your neighborhood. They're working very hard to get people into the store. They're sending out emails, they're giving out flyers, they're offering coupons, sound like eBay, to get people in. And eBay helps with that because they're paying for Google AdWords. They're paying to bring people onto eBay. So take a look at your fees. If you're in categories or type of item, again, you know you're going to want to sell through what you got, but then really you sort of have to sit on your hands when you go shopping to not buy those things because the profit just isn't there anymore because of the cost. Same thing. If you were killing it in a certain category, and then you go in and you look at Terapeak, which is now product research, you look at listings and you go, there's just too many other sellers that are selling this that I'm having to go up against and compete on price and everything. Then really go, okay, is there something related to this that I could be selling? Okay. Because let me tell you, even with everything, with pricing, with more competition, e-commerce is still new, right? Remember, Amazon used to just be books. New. It's just growing and growing and growing. And by being a seller on eBay, you are part of that growth. It's about positioning yourself. Look at the big box retailers. Watch them when they do pivots and when they change, right? McDonald's is a good one, the way they've rebranded themselves. It's just, okay, this isn't working anymore. What does work? I'm not making enough money on this with the fees. What can I sell that's going to do well? Okay, and keep an eye on that. I've got a free tip sheet for you as we grow and prosper on eBay, which is top 10 tips to ignite your eBay summer sales. It's on my website. I love to be selling because, again, sometimes people go, oh, it gets so slow in the summer. Oh, slow in the summer. Well, guess what? Something is selling every minute of every day. And there are things that sell in the summer, that you can source in the summer, that you can list in the summer and be making plenty of money. So be sure to grab my free tip sheet so that you can, if you've got some unlisted inventory, you can dig through there and pull out the summer hot items and get them listed. And when you're outsourcing, if you come across one of the things that I'm giving to you in this free tip sheet, you can go, aha, that's a hot summer seller. I'm going to grab it. So grab my top 10 tips to ignite eBay summer sales and enjoy sellers. Bye-bye.